Bitcoin is down today. Now, you might say, well, why is Bitcoin down when the stock market is up? Because isn't it risk on? Stock market ended near the highs of the day. Wouldn't Bitcoin go up? So, number one,
Bitcoinzilla stands out with its simplicity and clarity. We've crafted an experience that anyone can dive into, whether you're a crypto expert or just a new to the crypto world. Now, guess who keeps his eye on us? The author of best-selling book Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. And we want to take this opportunity and thank all the people who trusted us, and we read every comment. And the best part, it's free. Subscribing now means you will get all new information for free. Don't just follow the trends, stay ahead of them. Subscribe to Bitcoinzilla today and enjoy the new edge. Gareth Soloway shares expert crypto insights and discusses blockchain evolution, market dynamics, and innovative trends. In this video, we cover his outlook. Let's watch to explore these ideas.
NVIDIA today got a bounce on NVIDIA. Nice little move there after a flush. But remember, NVIDIA is still below this trend line. So let's watch next week to see if it reestablishes or does it break lower. Excuse me. Apologize, guys. Still getting over the sickness, at least the cough side of things. All right, let's go to Bitcoin here. Let's go to the big board, discuss Bitcoin real quick. So Bitcoin is down today. Now, you might say, well, why is Bitcoin down when the stock market is up? Because isn't it risk on? Stock market ended near the highs of the day. Wouldn't Bitcoin go up? So number one, it's below this line. So that's the line in the sand, right? Based on confirmation. It has to confirm above to negate it or essentially to reestablish above. Number two, again, the news this morning was that the Bitcoin reserve was established, but there's no additional buying by the government. They're just taking, again, like I said earlier, what they've seized, the government has seized, and they're putting it in there. That's amongst Bitcoiners, that's not what they wanted to hear. They wanted to hear that the U.S. government was going to be actively buying Bitcoin like Michael Saylor. The reason why that can't happen, folks, is that if the U.S. government did that, and again, it's the reserve, right? Bitcoin reserve. It would send a signal that the U.S. doesn't even believe in the reserve currency, the U.S. dollar. They don't believe in their own currency, our currency here in the U.S. They literally couldn't do that. They can't be out there buying. Because again, think about that, what it would send signals to every other country out there. They would say, oh, well, the U.S. doesn't even believe in the U.S. dollar's long-term viability, so why should we? Let's go dump all our dollars. And before you know, you have a calamity of an issue there. So, again, just understand why they couldn't. Doesn't mean I understand the idea that people wanted them to buy Bitcoin, but they just can't at this point.
Bitcoin is facing mounting pressure as it risks a weekly close below the critical $82,000 support level. Investor sentiment remains subdued after the U.S. Strategic Bitcoin Reserve failed to meet expectations. President Trump's executive order used forfeited cryptocurrency instead of active market purchases, disappointing many who hoped for stronger institutional support. This lack of direct investment has led to a near-term negative market reaction, pushing Bitcoin's price lower. If Bitcoin falls below $82,000, it could trigger over $1.13 billion in leveraged long liquidations, further intensifying market volatility. The cryptocurrency has struggled to maintain momentum above $90,000, with technical indicators suggesting oversold conditions. Analysts believe that a weekly close above $82,000 is essential to regain confidence. Meanwhile, macroeconomic factors and upcoming U.S. economic events add to the uncertainty. Investors remain cautious, hoping that Bitcoin can rally and stabilize above this key support level to reverse its current downtrend. Overall, uncertainty persists.
Taking a look at the overall markets today, number one, we're looking at the Dow Jones Industrial Average up about 165 points, NASDAQ up about 50 points, S&P up about 10. Now, those are not impressive numbers, but at one point today, this was deeply red when we were kind of in the late morning session. So it was a pretty big sell-off from the opening bell. We did get the jobs report today, and we saw the jobs report kind of in line with estimates. And I think that was part of the reversal today, is that we saw people saying, okay, phew, at least we're not crashing in terms of the economy. And while we did see early selling, buyers did step up. And we also saw Broadcom, AVGO, which initially opened sharply higher, selling off almost to the flat line, but then roared back to the upside as well. And again, the combination there helping the markets grind out of some early losses to be net positive on the day. Oil today up slightly. Remember, I predicted a bounce in oil off of that 65 to 66 per barrel level. Gold today basically flat, almost no movement in gold today. And then Bitcoin down just slightly here. Again, this coming on the back of the reserve being created for Bitcoin. But remember, the U.S. says they will not be buying Bitcoin at this point. They're just taking what they've seized and putting it in there and not selling off that. Heat map-wise, you can see technology, right? Apple here, NVIDIA up on the day, Broadcom's right here. So a lot of green in tech, which has really been the area that's been hit the hardest. All right, let's get into some chart action here. This is one of the things that caught my eye. There were two things, and I talked about these levels on the game plan today, saying watch these levels. This could be a key level for a bounce. Right here, pivot high, right through here, pivot low and pivot low. Look at the low today, right into that level, all right? And sure enough, markets came down there and then have reversed, and we're basically near the highs of the day as we get into the close, all right? So that's number one. Number two, I'm going to have to show you on the computer over here, so let's walk back over here, taking a look at the NASDAQ. This was a level I highlighted to you guys, the next major technical support right in here, pivot high right through here, these lows. Look at that right there, and then look at the upsloping trend line. From this low from January of 2023 to the low from October to the low here from August of 2024. And look at that. X marks the spot, pierced it, and reversed, trading near the highs of the day. Now, again, let's game this out. What would we be most likely to see? I don't think the markets are done going down, but could we see a near-term bounce? I think that's a possibility. And then you want to see, I think we eventually break this technical support and go lower. But right now, again, we could be in store for a little bit of a bounce over the next early portion of the week. Now, some stocks that caught my attention today, and number one, I gave you guys this level a long time ago. Look at this. See this level on Tesla? I said, look, guys, 250 right here, 250 even number right here. That's going to be your buy level. There's a gap fill right there. And Tesla, listen, and Tesla's it's only bounced about $12 off of that, which is still not a bad bounce, about 5%. But we'll see next week if this gets a bigger bounce. I anticipate that it will get a bigger bounce. That is a massive level. And what's important about this, guys, and again, I'll go to the big board to kind of show you the power of this level on Tesla, is that this right here was the day, basically, of the elections. This was when the results were out the next trading day. So essentially what Tesla has done is done a full round trip from where it was trading just into the elections to the current period after the mega run. It went up massively and now has come back in. Now, technically speaking, again, if you looked at 100 of these charts that do this, and there's not that many charts that do these type of moves, but when they do, the likely outcome is a bounce like this, and then you have to see, all right, does it continue up? Or does it start to break down? We don't know. I'm not going to pretend to know that I know. But what I do know is that probability-wise, you can at least anticipate some sort of bounce. All right, and then we have to see again, does it continue up after that or does it break down? That's the unknown. And by the way, that's part of what will tell us, right? And again, this is a great example for me to teach off of, is that the high probability scenario is this, but then does it go like this, creating more of a bear flag, which would tell us, okay, odds favor the down move, or is it more vertical, which then could create a little consolidation and then another move up? So again, this is why I always talk about to you guys how you have to take every day on the charts as a new piece of the puzzle. It's giving you new information that, again, you can't make up your mind fully about the next 2 or 3 steps ahead. You want to let those pieces of the puzzle kind of come out and then dictate the probabilities of that next move. The highest probability scenario is always your next move, not 3 steps ahead, because we don't know what those next couple moves are going to be leading into that third step. So again, right now, we can go on the assumption we'll see some sort of bounce here. After that, we'll have to reevaluate and go for the probability.
XRP is facing significant pressure after the letdown from the U.S. government's digital asset stockpile, raising concerns of another potential 20% drop. Currently trading at around $2.24, XRP's weekly chart shows a symmetrical triangle formation, a pattern that represents a tug-of-war between buyers and sellers. This technical setup suggests that if current resistance fails, XRP could slide to a target near $1.46, aligning with its 50-week exponential moving average. Investor confidence was further shaken after the White House Crypto Summit, when optimism about XRP's inclusion in a strategic crypto reserve fizzled out. The administration's decision to focus on selling only altcoins from its digital asset stockpile, rather than adding new purchases, led to a 10% drop in XRP. Meanwhile, Bitcoin continues to receive clear support from the government, with its holdings estimated at around $17.7 billion. Additionally, recent trading volumes in XRP have surged to record levels, signaling that large holders are offloading their positions during this distribution phase. Whale activity, evidenced by a drop in substantial XRP balances, indicates waning confidence among seasoned investors. This combination of technical signals and market sentiment suggests that XRP could experience further downside if support levels break. As the market watches these developments closely, XRP's future remains uncertain, with both technical pressure and strategic missteps contributing to its vulnerability. Analysts warn that if the current pattern continues, the ripple effects could deepen XRP's decline, urging investors to proceed with caution during this turbulent period. Market uncertainties continue to challenge optimism. If you've been with us so far, a big thank you. Don't forget to subscribe for free to Bitcoin Zella for your daily news. The link is waiting below. That's all for today's crypto news. Stick around for more updates, insights, and analysis on cryptocurrencies. Share your thoughts in the comments, like this video, and subscribe for more exciting content.